The race is on, boys. Which Japanese tuner is going to be the first one to release a drift-style kit for the GT86? Right now, we have prototypes from Origin, URAS, and even a few rumors out of Osaka from Thrash Racing. Very exciting times. You know, back when these kind of kits were first coming out for the older cars we all love, like S chassis, RX-7s, etc., the internet wasn't even close to where it is today, and information from Japan spread to the rest of the world a lot slower. The international drift community is huge now, and it's so cool that we get to talk about this stuff together as soon as it's announced, and are really only a social media comment away from communicating with some of these cool companies. So without further ado, let's take a close look at some of these drift-style kits coming out of Japan, starting with URAS. Right here we have what looks to be a prototype of an original URAS front bumper and side skirts mounted up to a Subaru BRZ. This was originally teased back in November with a drawing of the kit announcing the development. From both Japanese and English comments, initial reaction was really positive, and we even got the Drift King himself, Keiichi Tsuchiya, in the comments praising Nomuken's work. For those of you that don't know, URAS has a long history of producing really cool body kits and different parts for a bunch of different chassis, and even already has some great stuff available for the ZN6 platform. So it's super cool to see them diving deeper into GT86, and it's a great sign for the future of the chassis. If we look at this initial prototype picture that was released last week, we can see that the kit's really coming along and is really staying close to the original mock-up. With the bell flared out shape towards the bottom of the kit, it's very reminiscent of that classic drifting style that was popularized by companies like BN and Origin, etc. I've heard some people criticize this style being used on newer chassis like the 86 because they say, oh, you know, that style only belongs on 90s or 80s boxy cars, but these are also the same kind of people that will tell you how much they love a BN kit on a S13, S14, S15, and when those cars aren't even boxy in the slightest. You just don't make any sense. There's people hating on the newer chassis for no reason. In my opinion, if that look works on the very modern styling of the S15, which it does, there's no reason it can't work on the 86 as well. And as you can see here, it does. I don't know, that's kind of a hot topic. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. I'm interested to hear what everybody's got to say. There's not a whole lot to say about the side skirts other than it does look like they're trying to keep that classic flare look while doing a great job of mounting it up to the side of the car and making sure all the body lines are really flush. So looks like they're coming along really well. As for the front bumper, I'm not going to lie, man. The first time I saw it, I immediately thought of Darth Vader. I don't know why. I think it just looked like his mask. The front bumper looks real aggressive. I don't know. But yeah, no, the front bumper looks super mean, super aggressive. Really, really cool. I like it. The shape is definitely unique to anything else that's out there on the market, so it's cool. The next thing I noticed was the side marker delete. Let's go. Hate those damn side markers, man. Always falling out. Yeah, let's hope that they carry that over to the final product. From this picture, I also noticed this weird little blocked out piece on the front bumper above the grill area. And at first I thought, oh, maybe they're just like putting a little area piece, whatever, to mount the license plate. And then I remembered on the initial mock-up, which it looks like they're staying very close to, there was like a little mesh grill piece, what looked to be like a grill piece that they lay over the front. So maybe that's where you mount that. It could also just be something left over from holding the bumper up when they're doing like fiberglass molding. I don't know. I maybe just been thinking too deep about it. I don't know. But yeah, the last thing I noticed is that they completely shaved the area where there would be like a Subaru or a Toyota badge on the front bumper. So, I mean, that makes sense. If they're going to make a bumper, might as well shave it because they don't have to make like two separate bumpers, one for Subaru, one for Toyota, although I do love having the Toyota badge on the front, but you know, it is what it is. A comment I'm seeing a lot of is people asking for a rear bumper shot because we haven't seen the rear bumper yet. A lot of people really hate the OEM plastic rear diffuser area on that OEM bumper of the GT86. And some people even cut it out and replace it with like a bash bar to fill out the area. So I'm really hoping that URAS develops a full rear bumper as well, as opposed to just some spats or a flat diffuser. Because with this style of kit, you really need to carry that bell shape all the way around the rear of the car. So I hope URAS follows through with that complete look, and I have a feeling they will. So overall, I really like what I'm seeing, and I'm super excited to see the final product. All right, let's take a look at what Origin's got to offer. Very similar to the URAS kit, but a tad more aggressive as far as that bell flared out shaping goes towards the bottom of the kit. This seems to be a very modular kit that's going to be able to work with your stock fenders, their first generation of over fenders, and even these really huge, massive, super wide over fenders that it looks like they've got mounted on the car right here. And speaking of these over fenders, the fronts at least look very similar to those like shark fenders they just released for the 180, so that's cool. I personally am not a huge fan of really huge over fenders, so I do like that they give you the option. They're not really forcing you to run the over fenders if you do want to run the kit. The side skirts are very similar to the URAS kit, although it does look like they flare out slightly more. I don't know, we're gonna have to wait for more pictures though, I can't really tell. The front bumper looks to be really sticking with that classic Origin look with the almost boxy, like flat face that you can see on a lot of their other kits for other chassis. Also, it looks like they're keeping an area to mount your Toyota badge, so I like that. Looks like they chose Toyota over Subaru, as you should. No, I'm just kidding, guys. We all know Toyota's the best though, right? One thing we did get with this Origin kit is a rear shot, so we actually get to check out what the rear of the kit's gonna look like. And as you can see here, instead of developing a full rear bumper, it looks like they've developed kind of a diffuser that mounts up to the rear OEM bumper. Not necessarily my style, but it is a good option to have, and I'm sure it's much more cost effective than having to buy like an entire rear bumper. It reminds me a bit of the Rocket Bunny rear diffuser, so I'm looking forward to seeing it in person because I have a feeling it might grow on me over time because the Rocket Bunny one did too. It looks like they're developing a wing as well. I'm not sure if it's going to be part of this kit or what it is. We've had a lot of these duckbill style wings developed for the chassis in the past, so it's not really necessarily anything new, but it looks like it'll flow with the rest of the kit, especially if you're going to be running those super loud over fenders. To be honest, I'm much more excited about the wing that Fatago is developing right now because that thing just looks sick. Overall, Origin, good looking kit for people that are looking for that really aggressive look. If I had to compare the URAS and Origin kit side by side, I would say that the URAS kit sits in line more with like an improvement or alteration on the stock body lines of the car with a little bit of style thrown in there. Whereas the Origin kit just completely switches it all up and tries to push that more classic look. If I had to pick one between the two based on my own personal style, gotta give it to URAS. I could definitely see myself running that kit in the future. Both of these kits have their place in the scene depending on your own personal preferences. And I'm honestly just hyped that some of my favorite aero companies are starting to show more support for the best car ever created, ZN6 baby. And we can't end this video without acknowledging Thrash Racing. They're the ones that did this animation behind me. Shout out to them. Yusuf's always been super chill to me and helped me out a little bit when I moved to Japan. So although they've not released any prototype shots yet, they did tease this mock-up right here way before we heard anything from Origin or URAS. And it looks very clean and in line with what we've talked about today. So I'm still super excited to see Thrash's take on the GT86 drift kit, definitely. As we saw today, it seems like a lot of the big Japanese tuners and aftermarket parts manufacturers are starting to switch their focus over to the GT86 and GR86 platform. It's about time, man. The GT86 drift community is still super niche, but it's safe to say we've been asking for kits like this for years. So much so that some members of the community have taken it upon themselves to make their own drift style kits. Shout out to Fatago line. I'm so excited to see what's to come for the ZN6 platform over the next 10 years. Call me crazy, but because of the internet, it has the potential to even surpass popularity of cars like the S13. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. If you want to follow along, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below. My IG will also be like right here if you guys want to talk in there as well. So thank you guys.